I've got a friend. First of all, I'm gay, and you guys are really cool and stuff.
Thanks.
Even though you mock us incessantly, but that's okay.
Well, this is kind of funny.
Hey, listen, he's a...
There's nothing funny.
He mocks everybody, though, Mike. Let's face it.
You got to admit, I mean, I've said this a few times. You got a guy's honker in your ass and you don't have a sense of humor? Come on. Come on.
Anyways, I have this friend who I was just purely platonic friends with, a male friend. And he recently sat me down and came out to me as bisexual and offered to give me a BJ right on the spot.
That kind of inappropriate?
I thought it was incredibly inappropriate.
Yeah, so it suggests it's more than some issues of sexual identity.
Best blowjob Mike's had in 3 months, so I'll tell you that.
Well, now, see, that's the interesting part. I turned him down flat because I'm waiting for Mr. Right.
Oh, really?
Are you in a relationship now?
You'll be using Mr. Right while you're waiting for Mr. Right, by the way. Mr. Left will be holding the Blue Boy magazine.
Well, no, that's one of the many reasons why I really respect you, Adam, is because you're upfront about your use of masturbation.
Sure.
Masturbation is a gift.
Yes, I use it. I use it as a tool and as a weapon sometimes.
Really? A weapon?
Oh, yeah.
Please explain.
As a weapon?
Drew, I'd really have to do a maneuver on you, and you wouldn't like that.
You're right.
It'd ruin a good pair of glasses.
That's nice.
You'll have to wait till you're on MTV for that, I guess.
Oh, yes, they like
okay.
visuals there. All right, so, Mike, you have this friend. He's a platonic friend, and had been for how long?
Oh, for like 3 or 4 years.
A good friend.
Right.
And you'd not known him to be gay or bisexual?
Well, all of my friends had their suspicions, but officially no.
Right. But don't gay men kind of know when other men are gay?
Generally, I can.
Yeah.
But you were surprised.
Not to blow my own horn, so to speak.
But you were
Right.
surprised by this guy.
I was not surprised.
Oh, you were not surprised
No.
by this guy. Okay.
Were you not
But
attracted?
I was surprised by the sexual overture.
Right.
Were you not attracted to him?
Not in particular, no.
Oh, okay. That's why you
All right.
turned him down. But isn't part of the challenge of being a gay man to convert those who are around you? Males, that is? I mean, listen, I know a couple of gay guys, and it's a real feather in their cap if they can get some guy who's sort of on the cusp or considered a straight guy. They have a bottle of Chardonnay. And,
Are you serious?
Oh, sure.
No, that's BS. That's
all right, I made that up.
All right.
Okay, but it sounded feasible, didn't it?
No, because that's the wait. Hang on a second, Mike. I want to defend you for a second. That's the fantasy that straight people have, or that everybody has. That gay people somehow can infect you and convert you. That's not a BS.
No, hold on a second, Mike. Not the fantasy of this that they would infect you, but more. Okay, you know how men, and after all, gay men are men.
They like conquest.
Right,
Men like
and you know how if you had 2 or 3 guys, heterosexual guys around, and there was a woman who was, let's say, a virgin.
Or lesbian.
Or lesbian. Very good. Drew. I really have to just... I'm taken aback by your contributions to the show. Now 2 nights in a row, everybody.
It's going to wear off tonight quick.
All right. The point is it's a bit of a conquest for a couple of straight guys to get a woman who still has a hymen or one who's given up penises altogether.
So men like conquest.
Right. So you could see that if there was a couple of gay men around and there was an attractive heterosexual guy around who was clearly heterosexual, that'd be a little bit of a feather in their jock to get the guy to have an encounter with them. I'm not saying they're going to put an ether rag over the guy's mouth and drag him off into the bushes. Just saying it could be a little conquest. So, Mike, boy, he's like the gay Ed McMahon. Yes.
I do what I can. I think that a lot of that perception comes from the fact that men who are predisposed to be gay aren't necessarily aware of that themselves.
Right. But you are.
I am.
As someone who's comfortable with his sexuality, you can spot it in others.
Bring them out, help them come out.
Right.
Well, but here that is one of the points I wanted to make about this situation is you want to. I mean, if this guy is actually gay and just having trouble dealing with that, you want to be able to help him with that. He's your friend.
Right.
But you want to make the boundaries very clear in your relationship.
That's exactly it.
And you have to let him know in a firm but not angry and not rejecting way that's not where this relationship is going, but that you'd be happy to support him and take him to clubs or whatever and incorporate him into your life and your lifestyle. and be helpful to him.
Tell him which line to get in the bathroom and that kind of stuff,
But Mike,
right?
it sounds more like you think he's gay, but he sounds more confused than anything. But
Right.
maybe he is in fact gay.
But you're holding out for Mr. Right.
Oh, I am.
Now, that's interesting because a lot of gay men are just, they have the libido that most men have, and they want to go out and have a good time.
Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a trend in the other direction, is there not, these days?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, there's much more
that
towards
I've noticed.
monogamy.
All right, but Mike, I know this sounds like a bizarre and almost comical question, but I'm half serious when I ask it.
Shocked.
When you are with a guy, you are the receiver of the parcel, are you not?
Generally, no.
Ooh, this is shooting holes in my theory.
He's on top.
Because the fact that he said that he was going to be sort of waiting for Mr. Right suggested to me that he may play the more passive, feminine role
looking for
in the
Mr. Right.
relationship.
He's looking for
Things
Mr.
are seldom as cut and dried as male and female in anything, even in male and female.
All right, so how's the behind? Is that intact?
It is intact.
Oh, well, so you're gay, but yet you've never done
What
that.
is your
huh?
fascination with that?
I find it bizarre, and it's something that I learned only when I started doing this show, that there's a lot of gay men who do not engage in anal sex.
They do oral sex. That's the normative.
I know, but it seems like you're missing out on a large part of the gay experience.
Well, not only that, but Adam, you knew that you
Thank
were
you.
heterosexual before you ever had sex, didn't you?
I suspected.
Okay.
But I had no real proof until I was about 30. There was a theory being bandied about, but we had not had it confirmed.
See, that's the exact same thing. I don't understand why it's so strange.
Why it's so strange that what?
Why you find it strange that someone who's never had anal sex.
But you
those
plan?
that are gay or-
But people that don't have it don't plan to have it.
Right.
See, Adam at least planned to have heterosexual sex.
I'm just saying, if you're going to be gay, you might as well
Go all the way.
be gay.
I've had anal sex.
See, like Drew. All right. Should we start the show officially?
Please.
Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Thanks, Sam. Tonight we're going to have the Surfers in here. This is a band, but they're all professional surfers, and, we'll talk to them in a few minutes when we bring them in the studio, hear some of their CD and all that good stuff. Drew?
Yeah.
What is going on with me that I think I feel ants crawling on the side of my face?
Alcohol withdrawal.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Because I got to go get back on the booze?
Where one side, both sides?
It's because I got ants in my kitchen.
Oh.
I'm one of those guys.
Yeah.
Like if I'm sitting home and I'm watching the Discovery Channel when I get home, and they're showing ants, I feel an ant crawling up my leg.
Yes, you're very suggestible.
Although if I'm watching porn, I don't feel anything except for myself. Yeah. Interesting. I wish it worked for the positive things, too. It only works with the negative.
The creepy
Meaning,
things.
I could sit around and watch a show on the shiatsu massage. Do you understand?
You'd miss that.
And I'd just sit there like a quad. I wouldn't feel a thing. But if I saw a show where roaches were crawling around, I'd feel roaches coming up the side of my leg.
That's nice. But it's both sides or one side?
It's not. It could be both sides.
It's not where that shin thing is it?
No.
Okay.
Both sides.
All right.
All right. You can put, what'd I do?
3.
Oh. Dana?
Yes,
You're 23.
yes.
What's going on?
I'm pregnant with triplets, and I'm on strict bed rest, so I've become fans of you guys. And I just had a question about premature labor.
Yeah, now hold on here. I've had a little bit of experience with this one. How far along are you?
I'm 28 weeks, and I've already experienced
Right.
premature labor.
Of course. I mean,
I'm 1 centimeter dilated and 50% effaced.
I'm a big fan of the Tributaline pump. Are you on Tributaline?
Precardia.
You're on Procardia?
Mm-hmm. It's
I
it's
know
actually
Precardia.
nifedipine.
Yeah,
It's
same
a
thing.
generic.
It's the same thing.
Let me just chime in for a second. I know all you parents get into this week phase, and you start measuring everything in weeks. And don't just quiet down, Drew, before you even say anything. It starts in the pregnancy,
Yeah.
and then it goes to about the kid's third birthday.
Yes.
Okay. Now, knock it off, because a lot of us stoners don't know what the hell's going on. You say, little kid comes running up. How old is he? He's 27 weeks. What is that,
it wouldn't be
15?
like that.
What is that? I don't know how old that is.
I wouldn't be so worried about the weeks, but in a triplet pregnancy,
It's crucial.
A week is
It's crucial.
But you could still say he's seven. Well, I'm
No,
seven and a
no.
half months.
Oh, no,
I'm
no.
8 months.
Yeah, with the kids, I agree with you. But with the pregnancy, you got to get past that 32nd week. 20 weeks, huge, is a huge hurdle.
I'm going to drive my point home in a second.
32
here.
is your next one, and 34, 35 is where you want to go.
How many months is 32 weeks? At 4 years?
That's seven and a half. No, it's 8 months.
8
Right?
months.
Is it
There
8
you have it. 8 months. Okay, that's what you say.
Right.
How far along are you? I'm 8 months. Or
7 months. I'm 7 months.
She's
that's
7 months.
right. You're not the 127 weeks and how many hours or days? Because I don't know where we are.
All right. Anyway, so preterm labor and all kinds of preterm conditions are extremely common in triplets. I mean,
Right. I've been hospitalized 2 times, and I've been given the magnesium sulfate, which is
yeah.
awful.
Are you seeing a high risk obstetrical expert?
Oh yeah, I have excellent doctor.
Okay.
Excellent doctor.
Okay.
But my question is, I keep having contractions.
Are you on? You know, they have the. Are you in the countryside somewhere? You're in an urban center.
Oh, my husband and I are both active duty military, so this is a military.
You know
hospital.
what? You know, I have triplets, and what we did.
Yeah, I know. That's the reason why I was like so
what
anxious.
we
to call.
did is wore a uterine monitor that you send across on the telephone line into a computer system that monitors uterine contractions, and then used a terbutaline infusion, which is a constant pump of terbutaline, which decreases these contractions.
Drew had difficulty getting his underpants on over it for the first few weeks, but then he adjusted.
Also, alcohol reduces the preterm labor. I'm sure they told you that. And
Well, no, nobody said anything about alcohol, but is it okay to drink a glass of wine every now and then?
Every now and I am generally very against that for pregnant women, but in this case, you want so badly to get that pregnancy as far as it will go.
Should get loaded every
It
now.
works. You know, a small glass of wine will probably not hurt anything. Well, how are the pregnancies going? Have they been doing regular ultrasounds?
Oh, yeah, they do regular ultrasounds, and at 26 weeks, they were all 2 pounds, which I thought that was
That's
pretty
good.
How did you get triplets?
In vitro fertilization.
No.
That's that 1%.
Wait a minute. You're both in the military?
Yeah. You're wondering
Is
how
there
I
anything this
did,
goddamn country won't pay for?
No, the military didn't pay for it. It's I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. It's the military does it, but you still pay a certain amount.
Really?
But it's of course it's less than the outside.
Really?
So that's why we decided to do it.
Great.
I find it bizarre that the military provides that service.
That's nice. Well, maybe they're residents in training or something. That they have a lot of residency programs, and maybe they're just.
I think they're part of. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Dana's probably part of some experiment that's gone awry.
Yeah, but
There may be like spider monkeys coming out of your crotch.
okay, Dana. Here's the deal. Plan to have lots of help. Okay, that's the main thing. That
Oh yeah.
it takes 6 adults to take care of 24 hours a day to do a good job on
yeah.
triplets.
On
It's just-
$723 a month,
I'm just saying,
sure they can.
family, whatever, get help. It's that first 6 months is intense.
Hey Drew.
Yeah.
What is this device you said your wife was wearing?
The uterine monitor, contraction monitor.
I grab one of those. What are they? What are they for? How do they work?
I don't know how they work. They monitor uterine contractions.
How often do you have to wear them?
She'd wear it hours and hours a day.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's hooked up to a phone jack?
And then it would sort of record information. You'd send it on a phone jack to a computer system.
You like plug it in?
Yeah.
How big was this device? Drew. That's what I love about Drew. 15 years in radio, and I get it's about this big. So everyone at home gets a pretty graphic picture of what this device looks like.
About the size of a handheld
grapefruit
cassette recorder.
And you just strap it to your belly.
Yeah.
And then you plug it in, and whatever went on, it's like these devices they use to monitor plate movement or volcanoes or something. You just go plug it in every once in a while and get the information out of it.
It's as I remember it, anyway.
Wow. You ever get it on with that thing on there?
No.
That'd be kind of
You
cool.
don't do that with triplets.
Oh, you can't?
Mm-mm.
Oh, boy. Oh, Drew. It's a long 9. Well, wait a minute. She wasn't pregnant for 9 months, was she?
35 weeks, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a good thing, because the housekeeper was getting sore. Katie,
Hi.
you're 17.
Yeah.
You're on Loveline.
Hi. Thanks.
Thanks.
Last Friday I was at work, and this guy came in, and we started talking. We talked for probably about an hour and a half at my work. And I found out he was 30 years old. And so we started talking some more, and he said, well, you should come over and have a beer with me sometime. And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And I went over there that night, and I ended up sleeping with him.
Jesus, you're easy.
Yeah.
Holy
It was
Christ,
really
he met you, said you should have a beer sometime, and that night you're over there drinking and having sex?
Mm-hmm.
And did he know how old you are?
Yeah. Yeah, I told him.
Oh, fantastic.
He works where you work?
No. I was working, and he was a customer and came in.
Oh, that's great. Oh, boy.
So.
What do you order? The Diablo sandwich and Mr. Pibb?
No, he was picking up some pictures.
Checking out videos.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And is this guy a bachelor?
Yeah. Yeah, he had been married for 7 or 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he split up with his wife about 8 months ago.
And now what's the question?
Yeah, what's the question for us?
He's called me, and he wants to see me again, and I don't know if that's a good idea. I mean, I know it's legally a bad idea, but, you know.
Yeah.
Well, the legal
but-
issue's already been sort of...
Dealt.
Yeah.
That hand. Hey, weren't you a little nervous?
Yeah, it was my first time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was this guy real good looking?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. See those
Very.
bastards?
Yeah.
They know what they got. This guy's probably out blanketing the city, walking into every Kinko's on every corner. Hey, you want to have a beer? No? Okay.
His behavior is way out of line. I mean,
Is it?
He's
Katie, why now, though? I mean, you made it 17 years, well, 12 years. I don't count the first 5 years as far as being sexually active. But you made it all these years without giving it up, and then this guy comes strolling in. You just go back to his place with him that night?
I don't know what I was thinking.
Okay. All right.
Is something else happening in your life? You've been depressed or
No, not really. No.
break up a relationship? Anything?
A long time ago, like a year ago.
I don't get a bad vibe off Katie.
No, I don't.
You a heavy-set gal?
Yeah. No. More heavy sex. No, I wasn't even listening to what you said. Yeah, no, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Sometimes guys prey on that, you know. All right, so Katie, did he wear a condom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe the guy gives you the creeps a little because he's 30 and you're 17.
Yeah,
and
I really like him, and it's, and he's even said that he doesn't want to make it too serious because he doesn't want to get in trouble.
Well, he's already in trouble.
Of course he doesn't want to make things too... Hold on a second, Drew. Let's dissect that. I'm going to come walking into the 20-minute photo development place. I'm going to find some chick who I know is underage. I'm going to ask her if she wants to go out for a beer, of all things.
Yeah. Already, that's just that.
Right.
Just that.
And then I'm going to bring her over to my place, pump her up with a few Heinekens, and then get on top of her. But when I call her the next day, I'm going to tell her, I want to keep things pretty light, pretty hang loose, because I'm worried about the implications, the age difference and whatnot. Yeah, you're having sex with her 4 hours after you met her. You know her age before you have the encounter. How worried are you about the ramifications of the age? Please.
Poor Katie just goes along with this. Just, okay, just accepts it. And I guess that's right.
No, I've got the guy wants to keep things loose and easy because he's found himself a nice target that he can throw his fleshy dart at.
That's right.
And there's none of that stupid baseball game on the backside,
Katie, I hope you're okay. I hope you're not prone to be a victim.
Katie?
But really think about what you want from a relationship and look at what this guy's...
We don't like this guy.
Yeah, really.
It's enough of him.
Okay.
All right.
He's bad news.
It wasn't
Yeah.
It wasn't what?
Nothing.
Wasn't Heineken?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
What was it?
Nothing. I mean, yeah.
He gave you some weed?
No.
Yeah. How many drinks did he give you?
One.
One?
Yeah.
One 22-ounce tumbler of scotch?
No.
No.
It was a glass of wine.
You don't see him as despicable as we do you?
No.
How come?
How about just pathetic?
Yeah.
A little bit pathetic that a 30-year-old is just going to go around and try to nail some 17-year-old.
Yeah.
It's a little pathetic.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I know. Listen, Katie seems wise beyond her years and all that. Katie, you're fine.
Okay.
Just don't deal with this guy anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, where were these girls when I was in high school? Where were they, Drew?
They were going out with guys like this schmuck.
If I believed in reincarnation, I'd kill myself tonight, just to come back and get in on all the good sex that's going down, all the oral sex that's going on in high school. You know what I'm saying? I'd kill myself and come back as
Here's your luck,
the
though.
fifth monkey.
Here's your luck.
What?
15 years hence, the huge renaissance of Victorian values.
Oh, and I gotta.
You're 15.
Oh, that's right. All right, Drew.
Yeah.
Now sell the next call, and then we'll go to break. We'll bring the surfers in here.
Okay, this is Chris. He found out his friend is. Well, you really want that one?
I never looked at the damn thing. You're the one who looked at it.
Or this is a suspicious. Why does live-in boyfriend want to go to Israel without her?
Your boyfriend's in Israel?
Right.
That's a little.
Dad's in Israel?
Little Loveline comedy.
Mike?
Oh, wait, Drew?
Yeah.
I'm going to break.
I know.
Okay.
I thought Mike could drop that Israel drop in.
Oh, please. He's stoned. His phone number, 1-800, surfers like that, 1-800-LVE-191. Kelly Slater, Peter King, Rob Machado are all here, all surfers, all got together on a musical project, and people know you guys from your surfing endeavors, but not from your musical endeavors. I'm guessing, at least I don't. So why don't you explain how you got together, how you met, and how you decided to do the project. Peter.
Okay, I've been nominated. Is this thing on?
Sure.
We been hanging out all the time in Hawaii, making music after surfing, hanging out at night, and I lived with Rob 1 year over there, right on Pipeline, and Kelly lives a couple doors down. He won't let anybody stay with him.
Sure. Well, he's a big star.
Right. He's got something going on over there. And he had just won the Pipe Masters. I took a bunch of money out of his wallet, went and bought a 4-track. We started documenting our songs, and eventually we needed to step it up and get on a CD so the girls would be really impressed.
And had anybody, I mean, I know your brother, Peter, and he's very musically inclined. But is that something you guys all grew up with, or is it just something you decided to get into at this stage in life? I mean, did people play instruments? Did they write songs, you know, in high school, all that stuff?
I don't remember the high school part playing music. I was just a kid in the audience, blown away that all my friends could play these instruments. But Rob's been in bands for a couple of years. I've been in some other bands, and I know Kelly's owned some music over the years. So.
Kelly, Rob, I'm going to give you guys a suggestion, and I think it would be leaning forward and getting in the proximity of the microphones, because otherwise someone's going to say something, and it's going to take you 10 minutes to get up there. And the mics suck, and they won't pick you up from that distance. All right, you want to hear something from the CD, and then we can come back and discuss it? I don't know if you guys have worked it out with your record people. Oh, I hope you have a song on here named Never, by the way, because I said, you want to hear something from the CD? And I hear Ann's voice in my headphone go, Never. And I thought, well, that could be bad. But thank God I just turned the CD over and it's the second cut on it. All right.
Take a hint.
Here's the Surfers. That'd be Never from the Surfers. Kelly Slater, Peter King, and Rob Machado. And these guys, well, we can talk about the OP Pro and stuff like that, but do you guys, when are you going to have time, or are you going to have time to go out and, you know, support the album? I mean, are you going to do that? Are you going to go on a tour?
Well, we got a show coming up in Newport.
Oh, wait a minute. Playing August 3rd at the Okay. See, I should have read the note.
Yeah.
Is that, actually, I have this thing as August 3rd in Santa Ana. Well, when's the Newport show, or is that the same place?
Santa Ana, Newport, LA.
We're from San Diego, so anything north of San Clemente is
right.
It's something else, you know.
All right, so
August 3rd.
Obviously, because of the surfing schedule, you can't do a full-blown tour. But is there a season? I mean, does the tour just go around the world, or is it like you know, basketball or baseball or any other sport where there's a season?
It's basically March to December, and beginning of March. So
right.
It's basically 10 months. But next year we're we're trying to have it February to August, so we may have a season at some point.
And is it kind of a grind? I mean, just being out 10 months out of the year and having. I mean, I don't think any other professional sport would last if the season lasted 10 months.
Yeah, we keep wondering if it's going to last like as it is.
But as I was saying to the guys during the song, I mean, this is your life. You'd be surfing 5 days a week or 7 days a week, even if you never made a penny, right?
Yeah.
Drew, would you do that?
Mm-mm.
No. I got hit in the nuts with a Ziffy board when I was like 9, and I said, screw this. I'm going to hang out by the side of the pool. I'm not going in. All right, so Drew?
Yep.
You ready to take some calls?
Yep.
All right. Well, Peter, I know you got a question. We'll get into that, too. But we got plenty of time tonight. Ophelia?
Yeah?
You're 17.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, I've been living with my boyfriend for about 3 years. It'll be 3 years on August 5th.
Since you were 14?
Huh?
Since you were 14?
Yeah.
How old was he?
Oh, he's the same age.
How did you guys support each other? Or support?
Well, I'm a dancer for, I'm a ballet dancer for the San Francisco Ballet. And, like, my wages are small, but they do, like, work.
And what does he do?
He's a sculptor.
And you guys left home and were living together at 14?
Yeah.
How did that happen? I mean, where were your parents?
Well, my mom, I've never met my mom when she was pregnant with me. Okay, well, my mom, she's manic depressive and bipolar.
Okay.
And so when she was pregnant with me, she decided that she would turn my aunt.
Okay.
And then, well, why I'm living with him is because when I was around 12, my dad all of a sudden came back. And,
Well, he figured once you weren't damaged, he'd come back in.
yeah.
And those are really the key parenting years, aren't they? 12 to 14. It's not really the 0 to 12 that counts. Does it, Drew?
Nothing to do with it.
There's no bonding that goes on there.
Imagine what he's looking for coming back for a 12-year-old.
Does he want to bang some of your younger friends or borrow some money? What's he looking for?
He wanted me to move in with him, and I did for a while. And by then I've been dancing for like 6 years.
What did he do to you?
He didn't do anything except, well, I mean, he did, but not like physically. He took away my dancing, and that like really upset me because my mother was a dancer too, and he was afraid I was going to get obsessive and everything about my weight. And so he took away my dancing.
Might you have been obsessive about your weight before he took away your slippers?
No, like I started to have an eating disorder like when things started to mess up like at home. When we started to fight a lot.
Sure.
I started to get like upset and like wouldn't eat.
Okay.
There is, I'm convinced from doing this show that there's not a person who's put a leotard on who didn't vomit immediately after putting the leotard on. I've never talked to a girl who did like anything. I mean, maybe the hustle or like a half-baked attempt at the robot or the moonwalk, but any kind of serious dancing at all, eating disorder.
Maybe it's something about standing in point.
I mean, I'm really small anyway, and I know I don't need to watch my weight.
All right, so what's the question? Let's get to that.
And well, okay, so I've been living with my boyfriend, and in September I left for Russia to study Vaganova, which is a kind of ballet. And so when I was gone for about 6 months. When I came back, like about 2 months later, like about a month later, he's talking about going to Israel.
What's my dad doing in Israel?
I was like, okay, whatever, you're just talking because we obviously don't have the money.
This is your boyfriend wanting to go to Israel?
Yeah.
Is this something about his career that's taking him there?
I don't know. He won't talk to me about it.
All right.
He says he has family there.
He wants to sculpt the rabbi.
Is he Jewish?
No.
Okay.
That's actually part of the reason he doesn't live with his parents is because they're very, very, like religious, and he doesn't agree with the religion.
Okay. Hey, Ophelia?
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of intrigued that you guys were living together since you're 14, and that he's a sculptor, and that you're a ballerina, and
supporting yourself.
There's something very, very interesting about it. On the other hand, there's part of me that's bored. There's too many details. This is dragging out too long.
She needs a friend.
What's the question?
Yeah.
What is the question?
Well, okay, so he's talking about going to Israel, and basically, I talked to my instructor, and she said maybe 1-2 weeks at tops you can be gone, but you have to make it up.
All right. He too comes from undoubtedly a very unstable family, right, where there was certain kinds of abuse rendered to him. And so he is going to have extraordinary difficulty staying in a stable relationship, particularly at his age. He is going to sabotage things. He's going to need some chaos. And he's injecting it where appropriate.
Does he make a living as a sculptor?
He has a day job, too.
You support both of you.
No, he has a day job, and he sells his pieces of art.
But basically you support both of you, for the most part.
I guess.
Yeah.
Not that my paycheck's very...
Jeez, what a find. Imagine this guy, 17, shacked up the ballerina. She's paying the utility bills. All right, Ophelia?
Huh?
This is
I
not...
don't know what the hell to do with her.
If you...
What do you guys think?
You have to put your foot down. You can't sacrifice your career for his meanderings. He does not have a good reason to travel that I can hear. He has difficulty sustaining the relationship. Clearly, his need is for some chaos, and you have to put your foot down, set some limits, and ask him to participate.
The
in this
guy's
relationship.
17. You know what my big dream was when I was 17? I wanted to visit Van Nuys. I was in North Hollywood. I'd been to Burbank and Glendale. But my big goals were to see Van Nuys one day and then possibly get around the La Crescenta, La Cañada, Flint Ridge area, let's say before my 20th birthday. This kid's 17. He's not supporting himself. Let me just say this. I know we're running late for break. You cannot travel... I don't know what her question is, Chris. And don't jump in when I'm in the middle of one of my rants about travel. If you can't pay for your own travel, you can't travel. That's it. If your grandparents want to send you on a kibbutz for 6 months, that's fine. But I mean, you cannot travel until you have your affairs in order stateside.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can buy the ticket, you can pay your share of the rent while you're gone and support yourself at a hotel in Israel, wherever you live. Israel, fine. Mike is having more fun with that. Mike, will you play that whole thing just real fast before we go to break so people know what's going on? This was a call from last week where I thought I was nuts. Where's your dad?
My dad's in Israel.
Sarah, what's your dad doing in Israel?
What's my dad doing in Israel?
All right. Now, I thought she said Israel.
She did.
She did. I know.
Play it
and
again.
Mike, I wish you had the reaction of all the other people in the room when I said, what's your dad doing in Israel? Everyone went, what?
What's my dad doing in Israel?
Where's your dad?
Repeat
My dad's in Israel.
There you go.
All right. Now, listen to what she says because it's not Israel. Don't
Where's your
think
dad?
Israel. Where's your dad?
My dad's in Israel.
His room. Where's Israel?
See, that's why everyone made fun of me. All right. We'll be
What's my
back.
dad doing in Israel?
100 LVE 191. The Surfers are here. That's Rob Machado, Peter King, Kelly Slater. Also got the OP Pro coming up. That'd be the 28th of July through the 2nd of August. All right, what's the biggest wave anyone's ever been on in this room? Beside Drew, because Kelly?
I don't know. Peter caught about 100-foot wave once.
But then I swallowed my surfboard right through my teeth. I've been out in the water when it's closing out. The Waimea Bay is pretty big. It's like
You know
20
much?
feet.
You know much about dental hygiene, Dr. Drew?
Mm-hmm.
Peter's got a big gap in his teeth.
Could this be fixed?
No, but that's your signature.
That's what people say. I'm getting my teeth fixed, right? Like,
No,
it'd be
don't
perfect.
do
Like,
it.
and people say, that's your thing,
That's
your
your
teeth.
thing,
That's
yeah.
not my thing. My thing is not messed up teeth.
No, it is because
It's not my thing.
Ann said Rob and Kelly and Peter are gonna. And I said, Peter, yeah, the guy with the effed up mouth. And I went, oh yeah, right. How's he doing? Good. No, that's your signature. The gap in the tooth is not bad. There's a.
No.
I can't think who off the top of
Letterman.
my head. Yeah, Letterman. There you go.
Lauren Bacall.
You must have like a whole poster of like famous Americans with
I know.
gaps in their teeth.
Yeah. Goofy.
Most of them are British.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, nice British
Terry-
dude. I want to apologize.
Terry Thomas.
Just on behalf of the band for not making a punk rock record. No, it's not punk ska, and I want to apologize.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised they allowed you guys to release it.
Peter, you had a question for me. You were talking about the break. We said we'd wait till the air.
Yeah, and we were just talking about it a little bit. I just wondering, is there a, there seems to be a name and a reason for everything, and thank God you've discovered them all. Is there anything, some families, I don't know, some people, obviously fathers and mothers in good family units are breeding grounds for success, but sometimes I know a lot of families, people who have like absentee father sort of situations, really, really over-excel.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lot of people I know, they just seem to rise, to that top 5 percentile of the world, a lot of success to prove something in
Yeah.
life.
You're talking about maybe like a Madonna syndrome or something. I mean, not Madonna, Madonna the actress.
Right.
Or the singer, which is
that-
they come from sort of broken environments, and that puts a fire in their belly.
Is
And
that what's in her belly?
I think there's a little semen in there too, to be honest with you. But that was just to put the fire out. No, I mean, they're people. I mean, I don't think it's, and I know you're asking Drew this, but
it's fine. It's the Madonna syndrome. We've got it.
No, but he's
jumping in here, which is, I don't think it's a natural act to want to work 80 hours a week or to want to be on stage your whole life, or to, you hear about some of these people's schedules. They do 4 movies in 2 years, and they're constantly, they're never home, and they're working their tails off. And a guy who's pretty healthy, pretty adjusted, he wants to put his feet up and watch a little TV once in a while and crack a beer. I mean, you work when you have to, but you don't have that need.
Yeah.
You're not on the home shopping channel at night and hosting a show during the day. Wait a minute, Drew. That's Drew, everybody.
Are you on the Home Shopping Network selling, like, golf clubs?
He's got a line of jewelry.
Oh, cool. Jewelry?
Drury, we're calling
But
it.
yeah, there are reasons that people overextend. I mean, some people are sort of biologically prone to do well. I mean, they just have certain talents and things, and they can do it with ease, and they don't have to overwork. They do have time to put their feet up, like Adam says, but some people really compensate by just working like crazy, and they really are like laser beams in terms of how they approach
But
their life.
you show me a serious achiever, and I'm going to show you somebody who didn't come from a Ozzie and Harriet type environment. Those people usually get a job at the insurance firm, go to the company picnic, have 2.3 kids, and stay married for 25 years.
Volvo.
All right. I have no idea why someone just yelled Volvo. Who was that?
Me, 2.3 kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Goes with the thing.
Right.
Jasmine.
Who was on this microphone before me?
Why, does it smell?
Words.
Did Ricky Rackman come back in here and get on this thing?
He filled in for Likas this week, yeah. Jasmine,
Hi.
what's going on?
I've been, I don't know, it's weird. I've been having, like, sexual intercourse since I was 13. But I started having, like, oral and anal sex when I was 12.
Oh, my God. Why?
Why? It's a very long story.
Give it the Cliff Notes. 2 sentences.
What?
The Cliff Notes.
I was in love with a guy who was 22.
Nah, before that.
Yeah. Your dad
No, there is
leave?
no before that. There is no before that.
Oh, Jasmine, oh, yes, there has to be.
There always
There is none.
You were 12 and in love with a guy who was
22.
22
Uh-huh.
and having oral and anal sex?
I begged him and begged him and begged him and would not leave that man alone. And I realized...
You begged him for it.
Well, not necessarily for it, but I wouldn't leave him alone. I was constantly...
Okay, so
hurting him.
what happened to you before you were 12? That's our question.
Nothing.
Something happened.
No. I'm being completely honest. Nothing ever happened.
Where's your dad?
Asleep in the other room?
Uh-huh.
Israel?
With 5 hookers?
No.
No. He ever hit you?
No.
Anyone ever sexualize you before 12?
No.
You never experiment with friends or anything?
Once.
How old were you with that?
I don't even remember.
Was it a male or a female?
It was another female.
Uh-oh. Peter's got the money out.
Huh?
Peter wants to gamble, and normally this would be a gambling call, but we're already sort of
we're in.
embarked on this one.
Well, I
Yeah.
haven't even gotten to the point of my question.
Well, we need to know what we're dealing with first here.
Oh.
Where's your parents still together?
No.
No.
They separated, like, right around the same time.
Around the same...
About
when
12.
You were 12.
Yeah.
So you think maybe this was an escape from those feelings?
Yeah, kind of.
Anybody drink a little too much in the family?
Yes.
Not until, like, a year after that.
Okay. So somebody was an alcoholic.
Someone is now.
Okay. Well, but they were before. They may not have been drinking yet.
Yeah, they quit for 9 years. It was my mother.
All right.
All right, so your
I
mom...
was about 2 years old.
So your mom's an alcoholic?
Now. Yes.
Yeah, but she was before, too.
She may not have been practicing, but she's always been an alcoholic.
Yes, true.
Okay. So you have an alcoholic mom.
All right, well, that's a help.
Dad who leaves. What were the circumstances in which he left?
I live with my father now.
What were the circumstances in which the parents broke up? Was it
my mother supposedly wasn't just wasn't happy anymore.
Was it a nasty breakup?
The breakup was, but now they're good friends.
Stay with us. We're trying to figure out what made you do something rather extraordinary at the age of 12. What was the breakup like? Was there violence?
No.
What was bad about it?
Just constant fighting, and my parents had never fought. No.
Okay. All right, I'm ready to move forward.
So the question now.
if I'm having oral sex, I can have an orgasm. But if I'm having normal sex...
Hold on, where's the guy's toe?
Huh?
Okay, go ahead.
If I'm having sexual intercourse, I am unable to have an orgasm.
And that'll make you a normal female.
At 15.
Yeah.
At 15, it is?
Yeah.
At any age, potentially.
Although
it's more common than not, but that's just the way women are put together.
You may be 15, but you have the genitalia of a 29-year-old stripper. I mean, you've been through some. You're 12, and you're with a 22-year-old guy. Oh, and where's this guy now? In prison?
No. I don't even care. I hate him.
Yeah, but seriously, what did this guy do? Did he work around metal?
No.
Huh?
No, he worked at a bookstore.
Really?
F Street.
I've always hung out with older people. My friends have always been in their 20s.
Did you have, like, hippie parents that gave you pot when you were 11?
No.
All right. Hang on. We got to go to break. All right. I'm going to break this, Jasmine. There's something going on here.
I bet there is.
No, you at age 12, you do not engage in anal sex and actually be the sort of pursuer of it with a 22-year-old adult male unless there's something up.
Manic depression stuff?
Yeah, I mean, mom alcoholic, fine. You know, parents breaking up, okay. But there's something more, and she's a little reticent about talking about it. I can feel she's kind of short answers. Notice everything?
Oh, yeah.
One syllable. All right, we'll get to... I will crack her like an Easter egg, though, when we come back. And the Surfers are here. We're going to take a little 10-second top-of-the-hour break, and we will be right back.
This is Loveline on
radio station
KROQ-FM, Pasadena, Los Angeles.
The world-famous K-Rock.
Peter King, Kelly Slater, and Rob Machado are all our guests tonight. They're the Surfers. Songs from the Pipe is the name of the CD. Got a cool old picture of Don Kamehameha on the...
Let me help you with that. Duke Kahanamoku.
Duke Kahanamoku.
There you go.
Everyone's got a name like Don or Duke or something over there. But I was just eating at a restaurant on PCH. It was called Duke's.
Duke's, there you go.
Yeah, a bunch of pictures of this guy. He's staying at like the first... I mean, like the first superstar of surfing, or the pioneer of surfing, or the father of surfing?
Basically.
A big wave surfing.
He introduced surfing to California and Australia in like 1912. He was a gold medalist in the Olympics for swimming. He won,
right.
4 gold medals.
Oh, is he the guy who died out in sea? Or no, who's that? That's another guy.
That was Eddie Aikau.
Is that now? He what happened with that story? They don't want to.
It was a quick story. They were not a quick story, but they were sailing a canoe from Hawaii to Tahiti, the old ancient canoe style, and they were doing it the old way by the stars and everything. And they hit big seas and they broke their mast, or they capsized. And
see, I take a helicopter.
Yeah,
I know there's a certain thing where you try to recreate certain historical passages and whatnot. You make a boat out of reeds and you use a sextant. Screw that. I'm going to be drunk on the Lido deck. Like chasing some tail around the big chimney that's, big smokestack that's billowing out carcinogens. But anyway, the guy fell out and he never made it to shore. Did they ever find him?
They had a surfboard, I guess, on the boat, and he tried to paddle back to the islands because they were drifting out of the boat.
The passages?
Where the boats come through. And so he thought he'd paddle for help, and they never found him, and they got the rest of the guys.
Oh, that sucks. All right, mental note, never go for help.
That's it.
I think that's the message we've all learned there.
Learned that from George on Seinfeld.
Did they ever find his body, though?
No, never found his board or anything.
That's weird that they wouldn't find his board because some guy...
It's ocean.
Yeah, well, hold on, smart ass. Some guy tosses a Heineken bottle off a catamaran, and it eventually ends up somewhere. You know what I'm saying? This is a surfboard.
Yeah, it's made out of polystyrene and products that are never going away.
And it just sits right on top.
Yeah.
It's not like a seal's going to eat it or something. It's got to end up somewhere.
Well, it's definitely a mythological character now.
I bet it floated to some, like the Channel Islands, and some stoner grabbed it and is probably sleeping on it or something. All right. That's Don Ho, by the way. Jasmine.
Hi.
What's going on?
We've been talking to Jasmine.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
the 12-year-old.
I'm thinking about surfing now, Drew.
You were going to crack Jasmine.
Oh, yeah. Okay, okay. Well, a few good questions for you, Jasmine. Jasmine was having sex with a 22-year-old when she was 12, but she was only having oral and anal sex, right? Now, how come you weren't having intercourse?
Because I didn't want to lose my virginity to him at that age.
Ooh, that's a certain kind of retarded logic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he didn't want to take it.
Yeah, but
that's a despicable logic. Listen to that guy's thinking.
I've always been with older guys. The last guy I was
Stop.
with...
We heard. That's not our point.
Yeah,
this guy goes, oh, Jasmine, sure. I value your virginity.
No, it wasn't like that. Took me a year, hon. Took me a year.
It took you a year to
talk him into it. He was actually asleep, and he was sleeping in my bed because he had to get up early the next morning.
All right, wait a minute. I have to retrace his footsteps in the relationship. You met him at what age?
12. I had just turned 12.
Just turned 12.
When this began, I was about to turn 13.
So you just met him at 12. He's 22, and you had what kind of relationship for the first year?
Friends.
Just friendly.
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's...
I wanted him, though.
Right, okay.
Are you an alcoholic or addict?
No.
You weren't doing drugs at that time?
No.
Is there any manic depression in your family?
Well, my mom's a little crazy, but other than that, not really.
Is she bipolar?
She... no, not...
Have they ever been suspicious that you have a mood disorder like that?
I have been suspicious, but, I've never been diagnosed. I'm currently seeing, like, a counselor.
Yeah.
Merely because when it's nearing my menstrual period, I get really, really depressed.
And what does she think about these behaviors you had when you were 12? Do you talk about them?
Huh?
Do you talk about what happened when you were 12 with your therapist?
I don't think so.
Why not?
What do you mean you don't think so? I mean, you would know, wouldn't you?
Well, because it's like, all right, I've only been seeing him for like a month or so.
Yeah.
And before that, you have to go through somebody else who, like, tells them whether you need further counseling or not. And I told that person, but I'm not sure if I told the current therapist.
All right.
She doesn't sound very distraught to me. She can't have orgasms or something?
Nah, that's the least of her worries. There's something going on with her.
I'm very mature for my age. I don't mean to say that to sound...
Yeah, I know, but you're also crazy for your tone. What I mean is there's behind whatever this thinly veiled facade that you put forward to the world is, there's something going on back there. There's some pain and there's some chaos. There's some chaos. Wouldn't you say that's a true statement, Jasmine?
Not at that time there wasn't.
No, not at the time you're getting sodomized by the 22-year-old?
No.
Okay.
You sound like...
All right.
Why do you hate him now if that was such a glorious experience?
Because, like last year, I went to visit him, and, a bunch of our friends, and I hadn't seen them for like over a year, and I walked in, and he turned around and looked at me, and basically...
Try not to work the S word in.
Don't say give on the radio.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, Jasmine, here's the deal. I know we're kind of coming down on you, but you're definitely the victim in this scenario. And this guy is a criminal in no uncertain terms. This guy's sodomizing a 13-year-old when he's 22 or 23.
He didn't give an S to begin with about you.
Right. Okay. So anyway, Jasmine, just kind of go out with guys that are a little closer to your age. Could you do that?
I hate guys my age.
I think you may hate a lot of guys, though, right?
No, it's because they're very immature. I don't relate to them. I can't, guys my age basically.
Right, you want a mature guy who's 23 and is going to sodomize a 13-year-old?
No.
Is that your definition of maturity?
I want someone who is stable and who wants somebody who's in wants a real relationship.
Okay.
Jasmine, you have yet to pick one of those guys. You're picking abusers, victimizers, and by avoiding people who are closer to your peer age, you're avoiding the real relationships and going after and acting out these abusive relationships.
Oh, and we say 13, but boy, they really hooked up at, she was just turning 12.
11.
She really all right, Drew with his logical work her right back into the zygote phase. He'll be 47 dating a fetus when Drew's done. But when you're 12, 13 years old, you're in the 6th grade, everybody. This guy is a senior in college.
No, you're
and
out of college.
He wasn't in school, I'm sure.
Well, not if you go to junior college.
Yeah.
You're still a freshman at 22 in college, but junior college. But you are theoretically graduated college and going into whatever, and you're dating a chick who's in the 6th grade.
Doesn't this, though, blow the cover off that logic that young women have, that they want to meet a mature guy? So what they go for is the most immature, asshole-ish, victimizing, older guy.
Right.
Couldn't be more immature.
Right.
Well,
And that's the guy that they're going to pick.
And listen, all you screwed up teenagers, just because you quote Nietzsche and wear a beret does not make you mature. If you're banging a 12-year-old, you're immature. That's it. Unless you're 12, in which case, it's high fives all the way around. I mean, that's pretty good. But no, okay. Yeah, they get sick guys, not mature guys.
Right.
Sarah.
Hey.
Hey, you're 17.
Yeah, I am the famous Israel girl.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We've been talking about you nonstop.
Yeah, we really have.
I know. Well, that's why I thought maybe I should call and give you guys an update.
Well, repeat the sentence for us.
Where's your dad?
In his room.
Okay. Where's your dad?
My dad's in Israel.
All right. See, now it's like Israel in his room. It
What's my
depends.
dad doing in Israel?
Here's how the human mind works. It depends what word you say in your head when she's saying it. If you say Israel, it sounds like Israel. If you say in his room, it sounds like in his room.
Well, in school they do that test where you say like 4 words to someone and you got to pass it to the next person.
Yeah.
We did that in school and we said a little sentence to everybody. And by the time I got back to the teacher, it was something totally different. So
Right. Yeah, it all it takes is one
went to
stoner in the
school?
middle.
Yeah.
sort of.
I was the guy in the middle that just
All right,
kind
Sarah.
of. What was that?
So, Sarah, what's going on
I'm
now?
going to screw this up on purpose.
I'm
Sa-
sorry?
What's going on now, Sarah?
Okay, well, okay, first of all, like, the next day he came up to me and he's like, were you on Loveline? I'm like, no, what are you talking about?
Wait, bring us up. What was the
problem
set the
again?
stage?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, I called you guys and, I've been giving my boyfriend oral sex. And then, like, one time I was just in my house all by myself with him, and he kind of went, did the whole pants thing, and I thought maybe he was just going to do whatever, but then he started, having sex, and I was like, no, stop.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, okay.
The reason we listened to your calls because a few people in Denver got pissed off. That's why we went back and listened to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they thought we mishandled it. That it should have been more focused in our insistence that you deal with this as a rape. Remember, you didn't want to. You wanted to stay with this guy.
Right.
What happened?
Okay, well, then a few days after he, asked me if it was me on the radio, I talked to him about it, and I was like, I didn't really, feel very comfortable about what you did to me. He's like, yeah, okay, but we worked it out, and we're still together.
I don't know if that's a happy ending or not.
But we're not having sex. We're not. I mean,
You're not.
We're having oral sex, but we're not having sex. He doesn't provoke anything. I'm always the one.
Did you say you denied to him that it was you on the radio at first?
Yeah, because I did.
So you were like kind of scared to tell
So
him?
but do you think you were raped by your boyfriend?
Well, once I talked to you guys, because I think Drew, didn't you say something about how I should say something to him or something?
I thought you should tell other people, adults particularly, that there was a sexual assault, and I thought a rape.
Because I wasn't quite sure, so that's why I called you guys.
Well, I mean, we our sense talking to you that you really clearly were not willing to look at it that way. You felt that it was quasi-consensual, and even though you said no, maybe he didn't understand. And I still think that this is a person that has some pretty nefarious capacity here. This is not good.
Yeah, on the other hand, and not that I want to defend him, but you're a 17-year-old guy, you're getting the oral sex, and sometimes hormones kick in, and this, you know what I mean? There's a certain momentum your testes get.
But our society requires that men respond to the appropriate boundaries, and this is where you're going to get complaints from Denver.
Well, all right. Well, screw Boulder. Here's my point. I think there's a big difference, and here's what one of the problems I think we have when we deal with the subject of rape, which is a lot of the folks that like to think of themselves as politically correct, just rape is rape. You know what I mean? A husband could rape his wife after 22 years if he rolled over on her while she's sleeping. Rape. Rape, the same as any rape, same as gang members in the park. It's all rape. And my thing is if you've humped someone, like, say, over 30,000 times, and then you nail them one more time, that's not as much. It's not as bad. It may be against their will. It may be technically, but it's not the same as someone being tackled while they're jogging.
Knife point.
Yes, it isn't. It isn't. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying I condone it, but I don't think everything has to be the same. It's not all the same. I mean, there's a difference between you driving home drunk and clipping some guy who steps off a curb in your car and you breaking in someone's window and slitting their throat. Either way, someone's dead. But there's a little difference in the way it was done. And I'm not saying the guy who was driving the car drunk deserves to get off with a slap on the wrist. I'm just saying there are differences.
But Sarah's boyfriend was a little ominous in the way he approached this. I mean, it's nice that he can stay in the relationship and he's not screwing around, but he really had a capacity to cross boundaries in a relentless way.
All right.
In a way where she clearly said no, and I just...
All right. Yeah, he was out of line.
Yeah.
But the message is, ladies... You know, you can only give your boyfriend of a I don't know how long 6 months or a year, whatever they went out, so much oral sex before the guy is going to make a move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean,
but you better be prepared.
Peter, jump in here with me. You know what I'm saying?
I just think that she's putting herself in a dangerous situation by being so promiscuous anyway with this guy. Too young of an age anyway. She shouldn't have been doing that and giving this guy, come on, he's got his pants off, his unit is out. She's digging it.
Rape.
Careful, you guys are.
I'm judging
approaching. You're beginning to blame her.
That's right. I'm sorry. But I'm just saying.
And indeed, yes,
the couple, they're too gnarly.
She could learn that she's exploring. How these. She's young. She doesn't understand these behaviors and what they mean to her and her partner. But she should expect that she wouldn't be assaulted.
She should. But I will liken it to. That's a retarded example, but hey, if you jump over the fence at the zoo and go jump in with the bears, you're gonna get a paw. And if you take a 17-year-old guy and you drop his pants and you screw around with him for too long, this guy is going to do something and he's going to push it farther than you want to be pushed. That's my opinion. I'm not making it her fault. I'm saying, ladies, beware.
They could certainly upset you. That's for sure.
Beware, because there are a lot of guys who will do this.
And Drew's right. No one deserves to be abused or assaulted. I mean, you should have that right. And Drew's right. She should tell someone.
Well, now...
In a way.
The guy's a surfer. Leave him alone.
If you stay with him.
Victimizers choose victims and vice versa.
Yeah, a guy beats you up. You stay with him, he's going to beat you up again.
This is the same kind of
That's
an
a good
issue.
point.
This is the same kind of a thing. I
But
agree.
that's what kids who get beat do, is they
Seek
want that
out.
parent even more
Yes.
to love them. And they stay with them even more.
Out of the mouths of babes.
John?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Yeah, these guys are good looking. You're 28.
28. Dr. G, this is for you. It's kind of pretty much a quick question. I don't want to make much of it. If I want to go see someone and talk about to a psychologist, is there a term or a special psychologist I should see about if I want to talk to them about death, things like that?
Dealing with somebody close to you who's died?
No, with myself.
That you have a term.
A fascination with it and things like that.
No, I think you ought to stay in the realm of a quality general person. That will sort itself out if you're interested, if you were motivated.
Couldn't you go to a corpsiatrist or something?
And stay in treatment. That would all come out as a natural part of the process.
Wait, are you fascinated with death?
Yeah.
Or obsessed with it?
Huh?
How does that manifest itself?
I have, to be honest, I have no idea. Even when I was younger, a lot younger, I used to think about it a lot, thinking this place is almost like the world. It's it's a crazy place, and I really don't pretty much want to be any part of it, but yet I love it, but yet I don't. And it's well, I don't know, it's weird.
You may want to start with a psychiatrist to see if there's a biological problem here, and then stay in with somebody with talk therapy to try to sort this stuff out.
Start surfing.
All right.
That's another way out.
Oh, I'll tell you. Surfers are amongst the most happy people I know, except for they're miserable when they're not in the water. So,
or if somebody cuts them off and they're trying to get a wave, watch out.
Hey,
I would say to that guy that I believe in God, and I believe he has some value for being here, and to maybe.
But does
seek out
think
what that might be?
I'm an atheist myself, and I
You say you are, but I doubt it.
No real religious people believe me when I say I'm an atheist. Believe me. Oh, don't worry. I'll turn around quick if I ever, if I get cancer or anything like that. But, for now, it's my lifestyle. But,
or if there's a big wave coming, you'll pray real fast.
Oh, I'm not even going in the water. You can't swim here. You get hepatitis. Or you get jabbed in the shin with a needle or syringe. Hey, Liz.
I'm on. Hi.
Hey, you're 17.
Yeah.
What's going on? I got to be honest. I looked up at your call. I saw the word penis in his butt, and I said, we got to squeeze this one in, pardon the pun, before we go to break.
Oh, okay. Well, I like you guys. You guys are great. All right. In January, my parents separated, and my little brother started working with our neighbor guy, and he was doing, odd jobs and stuff. He's a, journeyman landscaper, and my little brother was helping him out, and everything was, hunky-dory. And then about 3 weeks ago, I went over to his house, and my little brother was there, the neighbor guy's house, and all three of us were talking. And somehow we got on the subject of masturbation, and my little brother was like, oh, that's wrong, blah, blah, blah. And the neighbor guy goes, well, if you think that's wrong, then he's like, you wouldn't believe this. And he tells us that he has this book, and it says that 8% of men can bend their penis when it's erect back and stick it into their buttocks. And
8%?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. This is what he told me. And he says that...
Now, you're not talking about that, hey, guys, I'm a chick, that thing I did at the bachelor party?
Let's tackle this after the break.
Oh, okay.
It's too much for my weak mind.
Yeah, you cannot take an erect penis and wrap it around.
He can do it.
Can you guys do that? Rob?
Rob can do it.
Can you do that? No, that's someone else's erect penis. That ain't Rob. Phone number, 1-800-LVE-191. Kelly Slater, Peter King, Rob Machado are all here. Together they are the Surfers, separately actually. They're the guys who surf. And Songs from the Pipes, the name of the CD. You can see them playing out in Santa Ana at the Galaxy on August 3rd. And then it's the day after the OP Pro, which is, where the hell is that? Where's that pier? They're always going into that pier.
Santa Monica.
Hermosa?
HB.
Huntington, yeah. That's a huge event, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many people show up for that?
I don't know. They say 70,000, but I think they say that because it sounds good.
Well, maybe they take the collective over the 3 or 4 or 5 days that it takes place, and they add them all up.
It's the same people coming back every day, though.
Yeah. All the people that rollerblade by on the
You got 10,000
walkway,
people coming.
Count them.
7 different days.
Hey, a guy just flew over an airplane with a banner. That's 2. And co-pilot. And some guy in the back. Okay, that's 3.
All the figures are off on those supposed Million Man marches and things like this.
Right. This is
inflated.
Well, the white man's version of the inflated head count is this OP. It's the million dude hang.
70,000
So Liz, how old is the guy you were talking to, Liz?
He's in his 30s.
30s. Why are you at his house talking about this stuff?
He lives with his parents.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
He's a pedophile.
What a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy.
So
This guy's an asshole. Stay away from this guy.
He told you that he had some data that would suggest that 8% of males could take their erect penis and insert it.
Yeah.
Insert it into their butt.
This is what he
Well,
said.
he didn't say it went. I mean, you could go the long way, but boy, you'd be proud. You know what I mean? You slung the thing over your shoulder and wrapped it down your back.
I don't think 8% of my friends would admit to that.
No.
My reaction was like yours, like, no way. But he's like, well, I have pictures to prove it. And I'm like, I don't want to see.
Good.
And,
But you saw it, didn't you?
no.
Oh, okay.
I swear to God, it was just, too much for my mind to, grasp.
How old's your little brother?
He's going to be 15 this August.
Keep him away from that guy.
So,
Stay out of that guy's house. Don't be alone with him.
This is the thing. He was working with this guy and stuff, and then I'm talking to the neighbor guy just the other day, and I'm like, I haven't seen my little brother around because I don't live with my little brother. I'm like, I haven't seen him around here. He's usually around here. And he's like, yeah, we had a fight over working together, whatever. And I went to talk to my little brother, and anytime I bring up this guy's name, he's just kind of like, yeah, I'm just not being around him, blah, blah, blah. And it's ever since the whole
Is your brother there?
conversation.
Is your brother there?
What's that?
Is
They
your
don't
brother?
live together.
No, I don't live with him.
He's
He
not with
actually
you right
lives
now.
across the street from me.
He's not with you right now.
He's not with me right now.
We can't speak to him.
Well, I mean, I guess I could go across the street and see if he's there, but
Wait, how is it that your brother lives across the street?
Okay, you want the explanation? I'll give you the short version. My parents split up in January, and a really good family friend lived across the street from my dad's backyard and next door to my grandma. And my mom moved to Wilsonville, and I wanted to go to school.
How many cars on the lawn?
There's always trouble when the word someone lives in a place called Ville, and when everyone lives on top of each other. Like, I go, what happened? Well, my dad went out on the porch of his house, and then he shot out the window of my grandparents' house with his pellet rifle, and then they threw a frozen waffle and busted out the windshield of their in-laws' pickup truck. I was like, whoa.
Bill.
They really just name everything with Ville at the end of it. Just put crap in front of the word Ville, and that would. They always give it some name like Happyville or Pleasantville or something, Riverville or whatever. But they really just need to be honest and put crap right in front of that.
Maybe the data is true in that town.
Hey, Liz.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone.
Stay away.
Everyone lives on top of each other.
Right. Well, this guy's like unique because also in the conversation he told us.
He's a journeyman.
Okay. He has cancer and
oh boy,
blah blah blah. He can't get a job because of his insurance rates or whatever. Anyway,
What kind of cancer does he have?
he has a bunch of tumors wrapped around his spine, and he has real bad seizures. He gets at least 4 a day, and he has grand mal seizures also.
How the hell can he do that really physical landscaping job with all these medical difficulties?
Because he has people help him. He supervises and.
I have a question.
He's supervising something.
Well, you guys get these calls and they look real simple on the screen. And all of a sudden, it just gets deeper and deeper.
Thus is the human being.
Here's the problem: is everyone in this country is a mess, and here's what we're like. We are like auto mechanics. We're like working over at the Midas muffler, and some chick with no teeth pulls up and says, "I got an 85 Taurus, and when I hit the front brakes, it pulls just a little bit to the left. So maybe you got to just put some new pads in on the left side." And we go, "Well, let's put it up on the rack and take a look at it." And then we realize the pan has a hole in it. The tranny's leaking fluid like a sieve. They need new struts and new wheel bearings, and you realize
from Crapville and her boyfriend shot it.
Right, and she says, "Listen, I got $10 in 10 minutes. Can you fix it?" And we go, "We could fix the brakes, but then you just go faster."
We could take the brakes off.
And you're going to take out some innocent kids that are trying to cross the street. So, oh boy, hey, I know it's all a big mess. Jesus, Drew, we got to get out of this. We really do. What did I say last night? We had to open a sprout farm.
I know. Last night we really hit a wall.
We got to learn to surf. Where do you guys?
You said you want to go to an island or something somewhere.
Well, we'll go to the North Shore.
Yeah.
We'll smoke pot. We'll grow.
That's
we'll
right.
grow
You want to go to an island and smoke
organic vegetables, and I'll just sort of become like a surfing groupie.
That's great. Just add to the image, would you?
Well, I know. Listen, I talked to Don Ho. I said, "Don, how many pot plants you got on your compound?" He was like,
"Enough."
He started laughing, and smoke came out of his mouth. All right, where are we? Oh, we want to hear that. Okay. I'll tell you what. Who sent this thing in, Engineer Mike? The doggy love.
This is from a guy named let's see, Ray Ramon. I believe that's his email address, anyways.
I thought that's the guy from the sitcom. Why is it? I
don't know if everybody loves this one though.
Everybody loves Ray.
All right.
His first name is Ray.
All right, and Ray put together a montage based on a call that we had about 3 months ago.
More like 6 or 8 months ago we had that call. Wasn't it?
I don't care, Drew. The guy's name was James, and he was having consensual sex with his dog. And his dog was having sex with his ass. You understand? He was also performing oral sex on his dog. He was a very bright 22-year-old Ivy League student or something.
Real bright.
So he's older than the dog. He's mature.
Yeah, we didn't do the math with the doggy years.
He's
but,
mature for his age.
Right. All right. So somebody sent this in and sort of a montage of that. Mike, you want to play it?
3, 4.
His lover, which is his dog. The dog actually gave him a reach around once, too.
That would be awesome.
Occasionally going beneath the Mason-Dixon line on the dog.
Oh, God. What's the dog's name?
James is having all kinds of oral and other sex with his dog. Drew and I are for it. Does he finish? Does he pull out? I get on my hands and knees and he hops up.
Ah, yes!
When I
I'm naked in all fours, then it's okay.
The penis swells once it's inside the vagina.
You have to be ready for it.
Drew and I are for it.
No.
Yes, we are.
That would be awesome.
You're going to come back as a dog next life, and you're going to be done by someone like this.
First thing I'm going to do is pee on your carpet if I come back as a dog.
And then she's going to rub your nose in it.
Finally, I can lick my balls. It's got to do wonders for
You
yourself.
allow it to swell in your butt,
Their penises are very flexible.
and then you're attached?
Yeah.
Butt to butt.
Is dog semen any different than people semen?
It has a bit more of a bitter taste.
More than we need to know.
Dooley's got his face down on the console now.
Bestiality is better than pedophilia.
That was James. I forgot about the part where he explained the taste of doggy semen.
And also about him getting stuck with the dog, too. Remember that?
Yeah. You know how, like, when dogs get on, you got to turn the hose on them once in a while to get them apart? This,
Where'd that last quote come from? The bestiality is better than pedophilia.
One of the callers.
Is that from, like...
Is
that in theory, or...
People called in that night and had all kinds of things to say about that call.
I got to tell you, and this is... man, people are really stupid, but if you can talk all night about what you plan on doing to a 5-year-old child, you won't get too many calls on it. But if you talk about what you're going to do to a Malamute or a Husky, people are pissed. People are really pissed off. I mean, we never got more calls than that, and they were never more outraged. And my take on the whole thing was, listen, the guy, James, he's obviously got a screw loose, this guy, but people wanted to kill the guy. And I said, the guy's performing oral sex on his dog. And let me tell you, explain what your options are as a dog. You could be pulling a fat Eskimo over some tundra. You could be sniffing out gunpowder at the airport. You could be jumping on homeless people in a Cops episode. Or you could be getting a Hummer. This dog was the envy of all the other dogs on the block. You know what I mean? Well, most dogs are sleeping outside and getting smacked with a rolled-up newspaper. This guy has the owner. Yeah, it's like, yeah, now who's the master? I mean, come on, the guy's going down on the dog. So I'm saying, even though the guy's sick, I don't think the dog knows any different. All the dog knows is he's getting the best oral sex he's ever had in his life. I don't even know that dogs perform oral sex on other dogs. Do they do that, Drew?
I don't know, but it was clearly an abusive situation, and we learned about zoophilias and zoophiliacs, and
but who was being abused?
There was quite a network of them.
Who was being abused, Drew?
It was a...
Where's the victim? I'll tell you the victims are James' parents. Imagine them walking in one day. Your son's got a creeper and it slid under the dog. I mean, could you imagine that?
The parents got him that far.
Yeah, they certainly got him on the gravy train. Yeah, yes, they put him on the chuck wagon to hell. All right. Anyone have any more food references, or should we just move on? Move.
Kiss my ass, Adam.
All right.
This is Loveline. Loveline will be.
Finally, some good wood-related questions. All right, the Surfers are here. They have themselves a CD out called Songs from the Pipe, and we're going to hear something else off of that. Is that queued up there, Engineer Mike? Yeah, why don't we get to that? This one's called Slave. That'd be the Surfers. All surfers, all musicians, and all men. All of them. At the OP Pro, you can find them the 28th through the 2nd of August, and then at the fabulous Galaxy in Santa Ana, otherwise known as somewhere south of Redondo or something. What the hell did you guys say about that place? Man. All right, you ready, Drew?
Go.
Call. True. You don't want to talk to anybody.
No, I don't. I don't want to talk to you, so I'd rather talk to the callers, right?
Oh, okay.
See if I get you on that baseball team.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Drew has been asked. Here's the problem. We're kind of a team, and I get my feelings hurt when...
Hardball league?
Well, they asked Drew to play in the celebrity game at Dodger Stadium. You know, the one like Billy Crystal plays in.
Wow.
And that's been a dream of mine. That... Actually, I want to be a porn director, but after porn director, I wanted to play in one of these all-star celebrity games, and they've asked Drew over here to do it. And Drew, Drew's mildly excited about it, but I would go nuts going out. It's a packed Dodger Stadium. They play like 3 innings before the game starts. There's, 35,000 people in the thing, and you're up there hitting a line drive at Billy Crystal's head. I mean, how cool is that? Drew, you got to get me in on that.
He doesn't have that need.
I'll make you pay. Drew doesn't or Billy doesn't?
Drew doesn't have that need.
I know, but I'm going to make it a need of his. Jonathan?
Yeah.
You're 28.
Yes, I am.
What's going on?
Well, I hooked a friend up with somebody from work, but then I found out later that she has an STD.
How did you find that out?
She had confided in somebody else at work.
And what's the STD?
Herpes. And so I don't
What's
know
the matter, Drew?
Just suspicious.
All right, keep going.
Well, I don't know if I should tell my friend or not.
Why wouldn't you? It's all hearsay, but why wouldn't you just bring it up and tell him he heard something?
Because I already introduced him, so I don't know if I should just let her tell it or come from me.
Well, it's an interesting prospect or
It's hearsay.
question.
It's hearsay. I mean, no harm in bringing it up and letting him deal with it as he chooses.
Leave an anonymous note.
Tell him 6 months from now, after he already has it, and he'll be stoked.
Right.
Right,
I
exactly.
just don't want to get too far and her not tell him.
Yeah, but that's none of your business. You know something, you should tell him. And
What do you mean, none of your business? If it's none of his
what
business,
they
he
do,
shouldn't
what,
say anything.
What she chooses to do is not his to decide. His is what he does with the information.
Okay.
That's what his.
I think he has somewhat of an obligation because he put them together. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he didn't know that there was anything, and he doesn't even know now if there's anything going on. I mean, it's all hearsay.
Yeah.
I mean, people say all kinds of stuff. Who knows?
All right.
You got to tell a friend and let him talk to the girl about it. If she's got it, I'm sure she'll tell him.
All right. I saw the word tattoo and nipple, and I'm going over here now. Julie.
Yes.
See, I'm not a good reader, but words, like when I look at the screen, the word nipple
jumps off the page.
Looks like it's printed in font that's like 30 times bigger than, let's say, prostate would be.
Nude people.
Right. Nude is a good word. Yeah. It is.
She's got odor.
I'm 8 months pregnant and planning on breastfeeding.
You're 8 months pregnant. You're 17.
Uh-huh.
How old's Dad?
How old's Dad? 18.
Okay.
Is he around?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You guys gonna get married?
Yeah.
Wow.
Very novel.
An interesting concept.
All right. And you have a tattoo above your nipple?
Yeah. I heard that you can't breastfeed when you have a tattoo.
Who told you that?
I'm a friend.
Hold on 1 second. I want to talk about you. Hey, the thing that's scariest about this country, it's not the guys that are humping their dogs. It is the fact that people that think they have a tat can't, are going to be rendered milkless or something.
Yeah, the mink's going to seep into the breast milk and excrete it into the child.
Yeah, the kid's going to start sucking, and all of a sudden that Playboy bunny's going to start fading.
Well, if it's
6 inches
henna,
up on the nipple.
If it's henna, it might be good for him.
Yeah, give him a little color in his stool.
All right, go ahead and breastfeed.
But here's my point. Shouldn't you have at least like an 85 IQ to be a parent? I mean, when a kid hits its like third birthday, he's smarter than you are. Isn't that isn't that going to suck?
Yep.
Julie.
Yeah.
How can you even first off, who are you hanging around with? And number two, how could you even believe that was true?
No, that's what I heard. And
oh, okay, that's what you heard. I see. Okay, that's different.
That changes everything.
Okay.
I thought I heard
Hold
that.
on, I think it's time for a Loveline recreation. Okay.
Julie, how could it be that you even thought that you would not be able to breastfeed with a tattoo there? How is it that you even came to that conclusion? Who are you hanging around?
I think they might have got it mixed up with getting fake breasts.
Oh, really? Yeah, that could be it. Julie, you weren't talking about some sort of prosthetic device, were they?
not that I know of.
She doesn't know what prosthetic
Oh, okay.
means.
Oh, that's what she heard. That's fine.
That's what she heard.
Okay. Anyway,
Go ahead and breastfeed.
yes. And what's the tattoo of?
Says playful.
What?
Playful?
It says playful?
Uh-huh.
It doesn't say mouthful?
No.
No. How old's the tattoo?
A year?
Mm-hmm. Where's your dad?
Where's my dad?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Around?
All
But
around?
not with your mom and not at home.
No.
Yeah.
Around the prison yard or just around?
He's around.
Okay.
I'm going to...
That wasn't the question.
All right, no more kids.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Can you use protection, please?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay.
Ann just said something mean to my ear. I'm not going to do it. All right. But here's, and we get into this every night, but really, how much longer can this country survive if the Julies of the world? And believe me, she's going to have her first kid at 17. Does anyone want to take any bets as to how big the family's going to be when she's 24?
I'm willing to pay for a couple more, I suppose.
Don't worry. Willing or not, you're going to.
That's what I mean.
You better.
I'm unwilling to pay for those next couple.
Hope you win that OP Pro. Isn't that great? And they hand you that big oversized novelty check for $50,000.
Just
and then,
make it out to her.
Uncle Sam comes running up with the big oversized novelty scissors and just cuts it. Cuts it right in half.
There's 4 babies in Wrightsville.
Something funny you said about a kid being 2 or 3 and being smarter than their mom.
Yes.
I know of a girl that I heard that she said while she was pregnant, she was smoking pot, and somebody asked her why, and she said, "Well, I don't really want my kid to be smarter than me, anyways."
Oh,
so,
you know some
there
bad
you go.
people.
That's genius. But don't worry, people are outraged about the guys blowing his dog.
Secondhand smoke.
Oh, that's a tragedy. Okay, we'll be back.
Oh yeah, everybody now.
Peter, Rob, thank you very much for coming in. The Surfers, the name of the CD is Songs from the Pipe, and catch them at the OP Pro, and also playing the Galaxy in Santa Ana the day after the OP Pro, which is 28th through the 2nd, end of this month and into the beginning of August. Thanks a lot, guys. We do appreciate it. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying...
Adios.
Okay. Mahalo.
What's my dad doing in Israel?
This has been Loveline. The opinions expressed herein are not necessarily those of the staff or management or producers or directors or the advertising or anyone. They might be Bob's. I'm Bob, and they're mine. The producer of Loveline is Ann Wilkins. Loveline is a presentation of Westwood One Entertainment. Grr. Arg. We now return you to your highly tested, regularly scheduled programming. Bye.
KROQ-FM, pass it!